How's it going, everybody? This is the Stimulus Check Hub here, and today I'm going to be talking about an area in relation to stimulus checks and the broader economy where I personally believe Donald Trump was right on the money. So Donald Trump really introduced this idea of globalism and nationalism. And basically what the idea of globalism is that we're one world, we're all together, every decision should be made between each country. There shouldn't really be any country in charge of their own laws and their own rules entirely. Nationalism is much more centered around the country and that country's specific people. Now, there's this group out there, and this is not a conspiracy. You can look this up yourself. It's called the World Economic Forum, and it's basically a bunch of these rich, elitist politicians, business people, everybody who you would expect to be there is there. And basically, they are making predictions for what the world will be like in 2030. And I want to read you their first prediction, and this is satanic level stuff here. This is like, we control the world, we are going to own everything, and I'm going to read you a quote that's really scary. So there's two quotes I want to read you. The first one, it says, "I don't own anything. I don't own a car. I don't own a house. I don't own any appliances or any clothes." So basically what they just said there is that you, hardworking individual, you are not going to own anything. Everything you're going to have is going to be a service. You're going to have to rent it from us. And this is their dream economy. Their dream economy is where you have to rent everything from corporations, everything you get from Amazon, everything you get from Walmart. It's all going to be rented. So your clothes, maybe for $5 a month, you can wear these clothes every month. I mean, that is the level of satanic stuff that we're talking about, where you don't own anything. The elites and the globalists own it all. And I think Donald Trump was right in the sense that the globalists are planning to take over. They want a one-world government. This is not a conspiracy. I mean, this is on their own website. They're public with it now. They're not even trying to hide it. Here's another quote. "You will own nothing, and you will be happy about it." Think about that. This is coming from the World Economic Forum. This is coming from the people who denied us our stimulus checks. This is coming from those type of people. And they're basically saying, you're not going to own anything. We're going to own everything, and you're going to rent it from us. That's the way they want to take this economy. They want to go away from the individual and away from the country, and they want to go towards a world government where they are in charge, they run everything. And it's just going to be horrific, and I can't believe they don't understand why people would be skeptical of this. They're literally calling for essentially a global takeover of everything that made your life good, which is the ability to own things. I like to have my own house one day. I like to own my appliances and my clothes. I want to know that they're mine. I know that's a little selfish here, but I like to know that the stuff that I buy is mine, and I don't have to perpetually send a check to somebody to keep it. I don't want to live in that world, and I know most people don't want to live in that world. And the stimulus is a panacea. The stimulus is essentially it's in its infancy of an experiment of UBI. They're taking us towards a UBI future. Everyone will get a check every month, and then you'll be able to buy stuff basically through these government-run corporations. That's basically where I see them taking us. Do I think the UBI is inevitable? I personally do. With automation and AI, I do think it's going to be inevitable. Unless the system were to completely collapse, which I think is also a possibility. But I think the overall point here is that these people are trying to take over. Like, this is not a conspiracy. This is not like me just ranting or looking through the tea leaves here. These people are telling you their predictions for the world, and these are the most powerful people in the world making these predictions. These are the people who actually are in charge. These are the people who actually have control in order to make these predictions happen. So it's going to continue going this way until either they get a full-blown takeover and they just take over countries and entire companies, which they've already done to a large degree. They've taken over countries through the banking system. That's how they did it. They basically set up all these central banks, the Federal Reserve, the Bank of Japan, all these different central banks, and they basically slowly bought assets through there. They control the bond market, they control the economy. Now, once they control the entire economy, now they have the government, basically the government works for them. The government is now working for these private individuals who are a part of these families, who have total control over everything. But they started out taking over the financial system. Once they had the financial system taken over, they have everything they need because they can literally shut your economy off. If they want to, they can totally shut your country's economy off. Then you're done. So if you're a world leader, you're going to listen to these people because you have no choice. So I think Trump was right there in the sense that he stepped in and he made the distinction clear. Hey, the globalist or the nationalist. He made the distinction clear, rightly or wrongly. He made the distinction clear. He's absolutely right on the fact that we are going towards a globalist future based on all the evidence I see. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I leave that to you in the comments. Comment down below. Do you believe it's a good thing that we have a globalized government? Is that a good thing? I personally, I don't really lean towards the whole global government thing. It seems kind of satanic to me. It seems like the government would basically own everything, and I'm just not comfortable with that level of government in my life, frankly. If the government owns everything, I just think it's going to be a disaster. So that's my personal belief on this is all very short term, right? This turbulence we're experiencing is very short term. They're either going to take us towards a UBI future, or they might crash the economy without any more stimulus, and then after everything's bottomed out, they'll buy what little assets they don't already control, and then they'll implement the stimulus UBI future where they can basically take over everything. So that's basically where I see this playing out. They're either going to crash the economy either through raising interest rates, which they can do at any time. They can take money out of the economy, put it in. They have total control here. They are in total control of this economy. They're in total control of the housing values. They're in total control of stock values. They're in control of everything. And that's the thing I need people to understand. This is not a free economy we have here. We don't actually have a real economy. We really don't. What we have is essentially a Federal Reserve-induced mega bubble that is going to burst as soon as interest rates go up and all this debt has to come out of the system. That's essentially what we have, but the only way they can keep that system going is through a UBI. And you're seeing more and more Congress people bring up a basic income. You're seeing that idea get floated around because I think deep down they know the system that they've built is going to come crumbling down relatively soon. I think we're within a couple of years of something interesting happen, especially if this inflation keeps up. If this inflation keeps up and they have to jack up interest rates, it is going to be a bloodbath out there. Trust me on that. It is going to be a bloodbath.